Let's get into the businessing big story of the day, shall we? AI is your junior employee. And today I'm going to help you manage your junior employee to get the most out of it. This is the unlock that I've used with people that I train on AI. And it takes an employer or a business owner like you and puts all of these tools into a context that we can understand. Because when you walk into an entrepreneur and you say, here's this new contraption that's smarter than you, that can land things on the moon, that can do anything, you just have to learn how to drive it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm not a computer person. I'm not technical. I can't do this, blah, 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 blah. I see them like start to sweat just at the concept. But when I explain to an entrepreneur, cool, this is a junior employee, let's train it, they go, oh, okay, I've been an employee before, I've hired people before. That makes sense. On your first day with your minty fresh new junior employee, you need to understand what they're coming to you with. Your AI tool has no idea who you are. It has no context about your business and how you make your money. It doesn't know where the bathroom is. Its key card doesn't work. It's everything that a new employee would bring is the same thing that your AI tool has on day one. So just like a junior employee, you as a manager have to approach it the right way. Here are some steps. Step one, you get your mindset correct and you understand that you're not customizing a bot, you're training a new person. And that means you're going to take some time and you're going to take some effort to make this thing more usable. It's not going to be perfect on day one, and you're going to take some time to train it. So when you think about it that way, it makes it just a little bit easier. The second thing is set your expectations. Yes, it can land things on the moon. And yes, it is super intelligence at your fingertips, but it's not going to do that stuff for you on day one. It's not going to do that stuff for you in week one. In week two or three, or maybe in session 9 or 10, you will have your WTF Claude moments, but you're not going to get those straight away. And it's going to make mistakes. And the first thing it writes for you is going to suck. And maybe it does something wrong. You got to understand that's part of the thing. So set your expectations to play the long game, because when those WTF moments come, then you know that you're into a new frontier and you know, ooh, this thing really has the opportunity to change my business. So set those expectations low and slow and enjoy being surprised when it outpaces your expectations. The third step is connectivity and context. With your mindset right and understanding that this is going to be a little bit of a journey, the immediate thing you can do is go connect it to everything and make sure that it is connected to your drive, to your email, to your calendar, to your Canva, to your CRM, to all of the tools that you would have a junior employee use on day one, because it can't know who you need to email back until it can read your email. It doesn't know what you do for a living until it can read your docs. This sounds really simple, but it's really one of the most critical things. So get the thing connected everywhere, and you can do that straight away on day one. And then step four is really leaning into that patience and understanding that incremental improvements are going to save you more time and more hassle. And it will do things great, but it will slowly start to free you up with the nagging tasks. You're going to get one thing after another off your plate. And as you lean into this for about a month, you're going to realize your business is different. And that's where we get to step five. And this is the part that matters the most as an entrepreneur: the math and the money. When someone comes to you and says, great, you should have AI in your business because it will do great things, a smart entrepreneur will say, okay, it will do great things, but what does that mean for me? This is the part where it pays off: the math. Let's pretend you have Claude Cowork like I do. And let's pretend you're spending $100 a month for Claude Cowork. And let's pretend you've given it 4 tasks. You wanted to check your email, you wanted to analyze your credit card statements, and you wanted to do your email triage and drafting. Like you give it a couple of little things to do. And those little things save you the free brain space of 4 hours a week. It's like 45 minutes a day. That's not huge. It's not nothing, but it's not huge. Well, what's the math on that? If you're billing at $100 an hour just for simple math, that's $1,600 a month in free brain space. 16 hours you didn't have to spend doing all that stuff before. So you spend 100 and you get $1,600 in free brain space, which is good, but you can't send your free brain space to the mortgage. But you can take that 16 hours and do something with it to make some money. With that 16 hours of free time, could you take on 2 clients paying you $1,000 a month? Probably could. Now you've turned a $100 investment and some training time into $2,000 a month recurring. That is a significant difference. This framework of AI as a junior employee has made sense to the people that I've trained already. And it's made customizing this technology for your own use so much more approachable for people. And that's where it finishes. This tech turns out to be cash. And that cash can be monthly recurring client revenue. It can be free brain space. It can be just fewer hours that you're working. But at the bottom line, it's going to make your life better. I can't encourage you enough to get after this technology. So when you are ready, here's what I recommend that you do. This is the action plan to make your AI experience better. We're going to take this idea of AI as a junior employee to the extreme, and I want you to write a job description. And it can be a job description that's extremely narrow. The first job description that I have for my AI is I want it to help me manage my email. And that means I want it to flag things that are spam. I want it to read things that it considers to be a high priority because it knows who my clients are. And I want it to help me draft responses. I want it to help me tame my email. Okay. What permissions do I want to give it? I don't want it to ever send any emails. I just want it to be able to draft them. And then I want it to apply that judgment. Cool. What do I need to do to empower it to do that? I need to connect it to my docs and my QuickBooks so it knows who my clients are. I need to explain to it that I talk to this client this way and this client that way. I need it to be connected to my to-do list, whatever it might be. This is a literal job description for your AI employee. Then you just go to your AI and you train it. So if you're looking for a way to engage these tools and you're looking for a way to turn this into actual revenue, that's what I recommend. Think about it like a junior employee, write a job description, and then get after it because you're an entrepreneur. You know how to manage people. It's going to change your business. Don't be scared of it. Get after it today, write that job description, and let me know how it goes.